Connect.
Now for a story of struggle, survival, and perseverance. His family was poor and he lived with an abusive father who ended up kicking him out of their house in Nepal when he was only 8 years old. Homeless and living on the streets, he got into a terrible accident that caused him to lose his arm. But through determination and the help of an American woman, he's now living in the Bay Area and thriving. Please welcome Santosh Talks. And you work with us at ABC 7.
I do.
We used to work side by side together on the mornings at 3 a.m. We go way back.
And now I see him in the newsroom in the afternoons sometimes.
Yeah,
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So Santosh, it's so nice to have you here and
Likewise.
to share your story. And can you tell us a little bit about it? You were born and basically raised in Nepal?
Yes. I was born in a very rural place in Nepal where it's really remote. There's no vehicles, and that was initially. And then I grew up in a really poor family, and which is because of my father's alcohol abuse and everything. And so abuse, of course, alcohol brings that along, and mainly to my mother. And we used to get abused, but mainly to my mom. And so one of the days when he was abusing, I was defending my mom and I hit him. I was like 8.
You were 8 years old?
Yeah, but I was I love my mom. It was just to kill me to see her get beat up for no reason every day, you know.
Right.
And I just couldn't take it, and I hit him, and then I took off because it was no longer safe for me to stay there.
Oh.
So you basically just left home?
I just left home. I was 8. I just left home to just live on my own.
Where did you go?
I just hopped in the bus and just took off. I just hid behind the seat, so they didn't charge me. And so I just lived in the street for about a month, just did dishes, whatever, to survive, you know.
An 8-year-old kid living homeless in the streets.
Yeah.
And where did you sleep?
On the street.
And then you'd make your money by just offering work to people?
I was doing the dishes, yeah. I was just doing dishes at the tea shops and stuff.
Wow.
Were there other homeless kids also?
There's a lot of homeless kids.
But you were
in Nepal.
basically on your own. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
No
yeah.
one was taking care of you.
No. So.
And how long were you doing that for?
I did it for about a month, and I was headed to Kathmandu, which is the capital of my country.
Yeah.
And my uncle lived there, so that was my destination. And I was saving up some money. I was just thinking that I would save up some money and go there.
Okay.
And I was there for a month, and like the tea shop that I worked for was right on the freeway, and so you had to go cross the freeway to fetch the water. And I was about to do that, and I saw the truck coming, and so I waited for it to pass. And little kids playing behind me, they're just chasing, so just being kids, you know, and bumped me accidentally. And so when the truck was really close, I got under the front wheel.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
And the diameter of the truck is one of those trucks that like transport oxen and bulls, big one, you know.
Yeah, big
The
truck.
diameter is so big, and crushed my right temple as well, and then split my jaw, and then braked and backed on it again. So, pretty much.
That led to your losing your right arm. Right?
Yes.
So you were basically crushed underneath the truck?
Totally. And so what? It was happened at a place where there was no clinics and there was no hospital. No, forget about the ambulance.
Right.
So they just put me in the same truck, and then a 3 hours drive to Kathmandu.
Oh my
And
goodness.
the roads snake through the mountain with big potholes, you know. And so 3 hours drive.
With
all
these
the-
horrible injuries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
At least the truck driver stopped and basically...
People met them. People around there met him stop. Yeah, he
Okay.
stopped. He had gone forward.
So
Yeah.
where did you get medical care? They finally took you to the hospital?
Yeah, they took
I
me to
see.
the hospital, and I was in that hospital for 3 months, and they tried to save my arm, but the blood circulation stopped right from my elbow.
Right.
Okay.
And you know, so they had to amputate it because of the chances for gangrene or whatever would get worse, and
Right, for disease,
yeah.
spread of infection, right?
Because there was no circulation, so it was just going to get worse.
Right.
So they had to cut it off, and.
You were in the hospital for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 3 years, and not
3 months?
3 months, and I was so severely scarred around here. So they sent me to a different hospital. It was a hospital for disabled kids.
Right.
And I was there for about a year. I went through 13 surgeries over there.
Now, as you were recovering during all this lengthy stay in the hospital, did you meet other kids, or were there things you could do to have fun?
I did. I used to be right-handed, and so I had to start from
Oh
scratch.
my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, and so when I was in hospital, it's pretty much, I guess my survival instinct kicked in because nobody had to train me or anything. I just started picking things up,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
like stuff like learning how to tie my shoelaces and stuff like that. It just, you know, figure things out. And when I was in the hospital, since I was there for like a year, I really got into ping pong. Big time. I would play ping pong. Like, I had 13 surgeries, so when the nurses would come and announce me that I was having a surgery, next day I'm like, it's just not the surgery, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I would get up and then I'd go and play ping pong.
Were you pretty good at ping pong?
I got really good actually, and I guess like they say like it's an advantage if you're left-handed because
Yes.
most people are right-handed.
Yeah, I'm left-handed and I'm really good at ping pong.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so when I
Not as probably good as Santosh, but we could play.
We
so
could
when
arrange a
I
match.
went back to the children's home, the orphanage that I grew up in,
Yeah.
I was going to school from there, and I won 2 championships in the ping pong.
Wow.
Yeah.
For you.
Well, I guess you are pretty good then.
And then, I mean, like, it's kind of like bicycle, you know, it comes back to you and play,
Yeah.
so you
Right.
don't forget it really. So.
Well, we can't wait to hear more about your story because you did meet somebody very, very special.
It did indeed. In fact, while Santosh was recovering, a very special woman came into his life and really turned his life around when he thought he had no hope and no place to go. And we're going to meet this woman who changed his life in just a moment.